What up, y'all? I just want to introduce myself and my context and my story and all that. I'm Mike Garcia. I'm the owner and operator of a farm here in Orlando, Florida called Everoak Farm. We've been here since January of 2019. I've been market farming for about 9 years, but I've been running this farm for going on 5 years. We're on a 3-acre parcel that's literally 10 minutes from the downtown Orlando area. Our main markets are catering to our CSA, which is a 50-member CSA. We have 5 restaurants that we sell to. One of them actually being having a Michelin Green Star. And we do sell to 2 resellers. And then we have 2 markets, one that we host here every Saturday on the farm, and then one that we do Monday nights, which we're actually slowly phasing out of that and looking into doing an online virtual market. I'm a first-time generation farmer. I'm self-taught. I originally have a background in the culinary arts. I spent 10 years working in the hospitality industry and cooking in and around town. Halfway through my culinary career, I realized that I didn't want to keep cooking, and my passion from cooking went into growing. That's just because in the early start of my culinary career, I picked up backyard gardening, and through backyard gardening, then I got into permaculture, and then from permaculture, I kind of phased out of that, and then got into a lot of market farming because I wanted to become a full-time farmer, and I really needed to find something that was economically viable and that had a good business model. So I picked up market farming, and it's been good for me since. And like I said, I've been doing it for 9 years now. But farming full-time and living off of my farm income for the past 5 years, going on 5 years. But yeah, that's a little bit about myself. Kind of want to share what we have going on here on the farm. We're at the tail end of our growing season. Our prime annual growing season is from October until the beginning of June. But we live in Florida, and there's things that do grow and thrive year round. It's just picking the right thing to grow. My farm's always ever changing. I'm always adapting different systems and putting things to trial and always playing with different things. But I have 4 different design systems here. Each have its own context and its own purpose. And let's get into it. So this is the front half of the farm. This is our market garden. How I also designed the farm is I have the centralized part of the farm, which is where we live and where our barn and our pack room and all that, which I'll go there and share that briefly, is in the center of the farm, and then everything spread out, just how it's zoned. The market garden is in the front half of the farm. I have these systems designed to cater to the garden. I am still implementing a lot of the classic market gardening techniques of operating on the 18-inch beds, 30-inch bed systems with 18-inch pathways. But I also do, at times I don't do that permanent raised bed systems because I also run poultry through the gardens during the off season. Like I said, we're coming towards the end of our season. There are a little bit of that we're pushing into the summer, but all my tree lines that I'm designing and establishing, not only do I want to have that passive income from like the bananas and the papayas that I have interplanted in here, but it's also creating that nice habitat for other beneficial insects and other life to really flourish. And yeah, and also to create that buffer as well, since most of the vegetables we're growing is that high strata. I just kind of want to bring down that light a bit. On top of that, to have these nice windbreaks, we typically start getting stuff in the ground by late August, early September, which is still our wet season. And there's moments you put something in the ground later in the afternoon, it dumps for 30 minutes and you end up getting 1.5 inches of rain. I'm waiting for this airplane to go by. You get 1.5 inches of rain and all this crazy wind, and then everything you planted just kind of got hammered. So I wanted to create a little bit of that buffer. And on top of that, we're prone to frost in this area. Usually by mid-December, late December, we'll get a light frost, and then January we'll typically get a heavy frost. This past season is the first time in 5 years that I've been on this property that we did not see any frost, and I think that just has to do with the El Nino being in full effect. But so we typically are prone to frost, and we also once in a while do get these big freezes that push through. Just to give you a little bit more context, so to create those buffers for the extreme heat that we deal with, and then sometimes the extreme colds that we could potentially get. So that's why I have it designed the market garden designed like this. So it is literally a tree line followed by usually 4 beds, tree line, 4 beds, tree line, 4 beds, tree line, 4 beds. And on the outside, I do not have a tree line just because I have an access road here and I don't want it to encroach here. So I just do a full hedge of sugarcane on the outside. Yeah, so that's essentially it. In these systems here, the main target is the banana and the papaya. So everything else I'm planting is to also support that. On the outside of this is sorghum Sudan grass. It's a hybrid grass. I eventually will transition this into Napier grass. I just need to make more propagation material. But for now, this is a good annual grass to use. This is also the same perennial grass that I typically use as cover crop during the growing season. Here's one type of, just to show you how intensively I plant my my market garden. I had originally, this first planting was at once I planted cabbage, peppers, and okra. Okra being my emergent species, which we're now picking okra, and then the peppers being high. This cabbage is ready to get pulled out, and I have already been harvesting it, and it is now raining. All right, continuing where we left off, just had a quick shower. We're officially in our wet season. After having 6 weeks of no rain, we finally are now getting plenty of rain. But yeah, this is a quick growing variety of cabbage called Tiara. It's a hybrid variety. They grow to only about a 1 pound head. My market loves it. Most people don't want a large head of cabbage, so this is a variety that I focus on. But yeah, we're loaded with these peppers, and like I said, ready to harvest cabbage now. So that's been slowly coming out of this block. Meanwhile, here's the okra. So how I have it layered, okra will keep growing above as peppers start fanning out. Just to show everybody. So block of corn going so far, or going right now. Real quick, on the outside of these beds, of these tree lines, I do have Mombasa grass planted on the edges of these trees. These tree lines are a little different than the ones coming down the center. The only difference is that I don't have papaya planted in there. My emergent species right now is gonna be eucalyptus, which is pushing through, and then there's also mulberry in this line as well. Another thing with these flowers and why I chose flowers, because I'm always trying to make everything economically viable, because at the end of the day, I have a family and 3 kids, and this is my full-time gig, and there's money into cut flowers. So I feel like it's a good early pioneer species to do. They keep reseeding. I seeded this once during the winter. It died back. I did a little light pruning, and then they re-emerged. On top of that, there's the papaya with pigeon pea on top, then banana. I'm actually getting ready to also plant Inga bean in this system as well, and also introduce eucalyptus. I just have some propagating in the nursery. Same thing here down this line. Like I said, my main target is mostly bananas. I really want to crank out on some good banana production, but to also nurture the annual vegetables that we're producing. Our tomato crop, and then another tree line, and then that. So the whole market garden is about, and then also we have these sprawling type Thai long beans that I'm really excited to grow during the summer months. But stepping back a little bit, like I said, we're coming towards the end of our season, our prime growing season. Our CSA and our farm stand only has 3 weeks left. So this is it. For the most part, everything after after May, so like early to mid-June, we'll go to a cover crop, or I'll go ahead and plant out some okra intercropped with some sweet potatoes as well. So coming out of the summer, going into the fall, I have sweet potatoes that I could bring to market and to also offer to my CSA. We do have 4 of these high tunnels. Like I said, since we are prone to frost and I grow a lot of indeterminate tomatoes, I want a trellising structure, but I also have these tree lines in between to create shade for the summer months, because I plan on pushing some greens during the summer months, and I just want to damper down that sun a bit. So I figured go ahead and plant moringas in between all my tunnels to filter out light. And then I also have papaya growing in between there. We have chickens in a mobile coop and fencing that I rotate in and around the farm. And yeah, and like I said, just clearing up. Also, another thing with these tree lines that I'm playing with, and I'm actually probably going to expand. First off, I just want to show this datil pepper. It's a chili type pepper, heirloom here to Florida, thriving in that medium type strata. I do need to come through and prune all these pigeon peas. On this moringa, I keep the skirt lifted, keep it there, but I also started planting ube underneath at the base of these, and that's also my goal, is to have these living trellises to grow ube. And as we continue on, this is the area that we host our farm stand. We usually have other vendors pop up here on Saturdays from 9 to 1 until June 1st. It's also our CSA pickup, and also when we do CSA delivery. This is our home base here. This is our pack room, also where we have our farm store. We also have our walk-in cooler and a 3-door merchandise fridge, storage, wash area. And then those last 2 tunnels are our nursery. Just gonna show some of the market tools we use. Going back to the market garden too, I don't get into too much of the deep mulching. Well, real quick, nursery here, and then this tunnel, I brood our chickens in the back and store some equipment, but we're actually going to fully convert this into our second nursery, so we'll have 2 tunnels for nursery production. I'm getting more into the nursery side of retailing plant starts, but I do use, going back to the market garden briefly, I do use certain tools that I have to keep the soil slightly cultivated, like because I use a direct seeder and a paper pot transplanter, and you need to have a nicely tilled soil for those tools to work efficiently. If you want me to elaborate more on the market garden and our practices and our methods, I'll be more than happy to do another video. This is a tree line, a 200-foot tree line. Also, I'm sorry if I'm speaking in with feet. I'm not too well versed in metric. I'm slowly learning the metric system and using that form of measurement. But what I've gathered, 1 meter is 3 feet. So this is 200 feet right here. Main focus is bananas, but to also have privacy. Next system that we have that I'm slowly transitioning towards the back half. This used to be all typical market garden production, which now transforming to actual syntropic principles down this main line is the main target species is the avocado, which, let's see, where's our avocado? Which there is the avocado. And then I'm getting ready to establish another tree line in between these two. Our tree lines are 20, or the banana tree line is, and the avocado tree line is about 20 feet apart. And now I'm getting ready to do a tree line down the center here with the target species of moringa and papaya, and building that habitat on this side that I'll eventually plant more long season annuals or short-term perennials, kind of like ginger, turmeric, maybe get into more pineapples, but also then I could also do maybe roselle if I have more sunlight in the beginning, and then slowly transition more into that. Same thing doing like kales and collards. But yeah, so eventually this also, with this line here that I'm slowly starting to plan out, the main focus will be papaya and moringa, but I'm also then trying to create the conditions perfect for citrus, which is in that medium strata, and really introduce citrus to our farm. Those who don't know, Florida deals with the issue with greening, and I feel like the solution to greening is to put the citrus where it wants to be where it belongs and wants to be, which is in that medium strata. So creating the perfect conditions for citrus. So I won't plant citrus yet. I'll probably plant these tree lines along with other support species in the next couple weeks. Same thing here, I'm getting the site ready there. The tree lines on the outside, and my main focus on the outside is bananas. And the reason why I designed my system to have bananas on the outside is because we are prone to frost. I have Tithonia that I also just planted on the outside of this. But yeah, since we're prone to frost, I kind of want to cushion in the other things that are a little more sensitive to it. And yeah, that's kind of my idea behind it. My next system, which isn't established yet, but we have a ½ acre of low chill peaches. Those who don't know, peaches need a certain amount of chill hours, which is typically 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and below is referred as the chill hours. And these varieties, I have 3 different varieties: Florida Prince, Tropic Beauty, and You Have Sun, which needs only 100 to 150 chill hours. I'm actually getting ready to retrofit the whole entire peach orchard to a lot of the Centropic principles, and that'll be my summer project. So I'll be pruning all these peaches down to their scaffolding branches, and I'm actually trying to figure out the best way to go about retrofitting this. So I'm open to discussion. Within the system too, I'm catering it to pastured poultry. We run chicken tractors with the mostly focus on broilers, so chicken for meat, up and down the whole orchard. So with that being said, right in between that other system I have in the back and the peaches, we do keep bees on the property. We typically keep apiary, the size of our apiary is usually around 10 to 20 colonies. I just started getting back into reintroducing bees again to the property. I lost a majority of them to a hurricane we had a couple of years ago. And yeah, so now the back half and the last system that I have is focused on guavas and mangoes. So this is our guava and mango line, and in between bananas. I actually have to come in here and do a pretty hard reset, but yeah, anyways, that's a quick tour of what we have around the farm. If there's any more things y'all want me to elaborate on, be more than happy to. But till then, Take it easy.